We're going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner.
Man, I'm confident.
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. Also, rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts, because you might be in the run. You will then be in the running for a Darnell Wright jersey once we reach 58 5-star reviews. And PayPal, I gotta say, the more that I hear our intro, the sadder I get, because we got the take the North, you got confidence in the offense and all these things. We might have to update it where it's just like, we lost again, and
we are unbearable sports. So,
this is,
it is unbearable to watch our team sometimes. So
yeah,
it's kind of in our pudding. So maybe we should start off more negative just to kind of market our name better. We should always be negative about the team.
It should just be absolutely obnoxious for the intro. I think you're right, but PayPal,
yeah,
we got a jam-packed show. We are breaking down the toilet bowl, as people are calling it, the Denver Broncos versus the Chicago Bears. Really breaking down some of the injuries that are going on, the offense, the defense, the special teams, and then we are flipping over to predictions, as we always do. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe to get all of your Bears updates. PayPal, we said this, right? We know this is the toilet bowl. People looking forward to this, not looking forward to this. What say you? Are you actually excited to see the Bears go against a bad team?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm so happy we're not in prime time. I think that did not help us being in prime time last week. I think we were supposed to be prime time Monday night for this game, but someone smart upstairs was like, "Hey, let's move this to Sunday at 12." So
gotta change this,
and just hide this game.
Turns out the Bears suck. Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out both these teams are just the worst teams in the league right now. So and with that, I think I'm excited because we just faced, Super Bowl champs, but now we're facing the Denver Broncos, who also have been looking very bad and just kind of a dumpster fire as well as us. So do we have a chance to get this against this team, and will we look somewhat decent, especially on our offense?
Yeah, and also it's a good sign because Broski Bear came out of hibernation. We know that he was out for a while, but he's back. So look at this. So I think that this just smells Bears victory over the 0-3 Broncos, but we'll be previewing it and breaking it all down. So let's go and start out with the injuries, shall we? So the injuries from the Bears standpoint, we have Josh Blackwell did not participate on Wednesday and Thursday. Travis Homer limited today on Thursday when we're recording this. Eddie Jackson did not participate Thursday and Wednesday. Same thing with Jalen Johnson. Mercedes Lewis taking his old man rest day. And Tyreek Stevenson, full participant with an illness on Wednesday and Thursday. PayPal, anything jump off to you about this injury report?
Yeah, it's our secondary is very hurt. Eddie Jackson, yeah, still down. Jalen Johnson, I was surprised to see him on the list. And Josh Blackwell, he seemed like he was injured during that game and he was taken out and Stroman was put in. But hey, that's why we brought in a Joe Juan Williams. I don't know if it's Joe Juan or Joe Juan. I don't know how to say these guys' names anymore. They always have a different pronunciation of what it looks like.
Yeah,
but
Gervon Dexter. Get out of here.
Yeah, Gervon. Yeah, Gervin.
Gervin.
But he seems like a decent pickup, like a guy that did well in preseason, but just Minnesota didn't have room on their roster. Put him on the practice squad. We picked him up. I was really surprised we didn't pick up like a maybe versatile safety, and corner, because
yeah, that's a good call.
We're kind of I don't know if we have any more safeties left. I guess on our practice squad we might elevate like a Kendall Williamson or something, because we only will have one backup safety for this game otherwise.
Really? Like, oh yeah, because is anyone on IR? Did Quindell go on IR? Or
No, I mean with Eddie Jackson
oh,
being out,
yep,
Elijah Hicks will step up, and
yeah.
then Quindell will be the only one that's the guy that he hasn't like played with this team. So, uh, it would be an interesting situation. So it's like, would they bring up like a Kendall Williamson or something?
Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. I don't want to go too far into the defense right up front, but one of my big keys is going to be Jaquan Brisker without Eddie Jackson. I think you see the lack of leadership out there, especially in the secondary when Eddie Jackson's not out there. And really, Jaquan Brisker looks like a different player when he doesn't have his buddy Eddie Jackson next to him. So I I want to see how that is. Elijah Hicks hasn't been too bad, but still, I think the duo is really what we need in the backfield. Also, I did see on Twitter some people talking about how serious is Jalen Johnson's injury if we add a Joan, because is he someone that is kind of coming up to kind of be that backup for Jalen Johnson? Or maybe they just like his size. Yet again, another person who's all about the potential, but maybe not necessarily can they play. That's going to be the big
Yeah.
question with Jawan Williams. But let's flip over to the other side of this injury report with the Denver Broncos. Frank Clark did not participate on Wednesday and on Thursday. That defensive end, even though that they list him as a linebacker, he's really just an edge rusher. But then also Josie Jewell did not participate. They're kind of stud linebacker for them, if we're being honest. Did not participate Wednesday and Thursday. And Mike Purcell, the nose tackle, did not participate. Jerry Jeudy's always injured. He's limited. And Justin Simmons also limited. Kind of expect them to play unless something kind of pops up. But those are kind of some of the bigger names. Anything else kind of come up?
I love seeing that a lot of defensive players that important defensive players are injured for this team. Cuz hey, we already know that they let up 70 points against the Dolphins, so like anything else that can help this offense have some sort of spark, Brad. I'll take it, more injuries for the Broncos defense so we can maybe get a you know 30 points. Who knows? Like, that'd be awesome if we could get that many points.
Yeah, so let's actually go into this. Also, too, Broski's saying, do you think the Naperville native is actually going to lose in Chicago this weekend? Is that Sean Payton? I'm trying to think of who the Naperville native is.
Yeah.
I know that Sean Payton went to Eastern, and I know that
Mhm.
he's usually around Chicago a decent amount, but also, oh, Detroit's whipping up on Green Bay right now too. That's the hard part. We're always go live during one of the Thursday night games. So yeah, Broski
Oh, yeah,
saying,
I
yeah, Sean
forgot.
Payton
Yeah.
with that. So we'll see. We'll be breaking that down, but let's flip over because PayPal, you were talking a little bit about the offensive side of the ball. Are we going to be able to score against this defense? Because this is the worst defense in the league. You look at it, no matter how you slice it, they're the worst defense in the league, but it might be because, as we all know, they gave up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins. But when you look outside of that, they allowed 35 points to the Commanders and 17 points against the Raiders. So really, they've kind of covered everything. They really have doubled their score, 17 to 35 to now 70.
Mhm.
So I think it's hard to necessarily pinpoint, is this defense truly good? Because the Raiders have put up some decent point totals, or they have a decent offense. McDaniels still kind of throws things off, but this defense does truly look like one of the worst defenses in the league. And when you also look at their pressure rate, one of my favorite stats, a 10.8% pressure rate, the worst in the league. If you're curious where the Bears are at, they are fifth worst at 16.7. So 10%, very bad for the Denver Broncos. PayPal, the question on everyone's mind, is this the defense that the Bears are going to come back? Bears will be back, and all of a sudden, all things are good. Offense is firing. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, and just make sure that's pressure rate, like their defense, pressuring the quarterback, correct?
Correct. So that
Correct.
combines
Okay.
hurries, that
That's
combines
crazy. I never
QB's
knew
hits
there's
and
Yeah.
sacks.
Yeah, wow. Because this feels like the game of like, hey, if we can't have an offense against this team, then we're screwed. And like this is like for me as a Bears fan, like yes, like every week I'm kind of like, oh man, this team looks terrible. But there's Sunday, we'll play against this team. We'll turn it around. I was really feeling bad after that Chiefs loss. But it's like, hey, this is that was Super Bowl, yeah, team. This is like the team to do it. Like I could totally see like there's you can expose this entire defense. Like the only guy that I really see out there, um, first of all, their safeties. I was surprised they're not playing as well as they would have this year. But it's like Patrick Surtain is like the one guy you're like,
He's
okay,
so good.
they
Yeah.
have him. Like just throw it away from him. Like I bet that's what every team is doing. Like, but like if you get Claypool matched up with Surtain, perfect. So then DJ Moore can just go against all these other corners, But they're probably gonna have Surtain shadow DJ Moore or something. But this team just looks very, very bad ever since Sean Payton has come and coached this defense. Because last year they were monsters on defense. Now they're
Yeah.
absolutely babies.
Oh, for real? Because you talk about like with Vic Fangio, the Vic Fangio defense, but then last year too, even with the former Packers offensive coordinator, that was terrible, right? Hackett.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think when you look at this defense, Kareem Jackson, like you talked about, the safeties, he's finally losing a step. He's been
Yeah.
a good safety throughout his career. Nothing insane, but he's always been a good player. And he's 35 years old, definitely has seen like he's lost a step. And Justin Simmons, a good safety, he's just about to turn 30. So maybe he's getting at that age. And then also, like we saw, a little nicked up as well. But yet again, when you go back to the pressure, the big uglies up front win you games. They're not just people that take on contracts. They really do matter. And we saw that the Broncos lost a lot of people. And right now, obviously, they have one of the worst sack percentage, just pressure percentages, like we talked about. Where let's see what happens. Because in the interior, I'm looking at Zach Allen, who had a career year for the Cardinals last season. And what do you know? Us Bears fans know something about career years with DeMarcus Walker. After you have a career year, you go back to what you are. Zach Allen was not a good interior player. He's really kind of regressed back to that. And DJ Jones has just kind of been an up and down defensive tackle. So I really like this matchup. Like we said, this needs to be the rebound game, because if you lose, just for all of our listeners, PayPal and I said, hey, we're going to cover the draft if the Bears lose. Like, we're going to find a way. This might be the draft preview show where we start to breaking down some draft prospects a little bit on what actually the preview is. But we'll figure that out if the Bears end up losing, because if they lose, yeah, it's not going to be close. So
Yeah, and it's like it's for me, it's like even if they do lose, like does this offense actually do something? I think that's what I'm really looking for, especially is like if you can't do it against this team, yeah, you can't do it against anyone else in this league. And so it's like give the ball to Cole Kmet. Like I was actually just talking to someone else today, and they're like, that Cole Kmet guy, like, why don't they give him the ball more? Like, and it's, we already know we hear that from DJ Moore. Why don't we give him the ball more? But I really think Cole Kmet, that's such a big, easy target. We saw how it was with Travis Kelce, how it's literally just, they don't have a route made up. It's just Travis Kelce, get open and throw him the ball. Like, why can't we have some sort of chemistry with Justin Fields and Cole Kmet? We've already seen how he blocks, but I just want to see him get more get more targets this game. Because Justin Fields doesn't like reading the defense, and I think kind of throwing to your tight end, you don't have to read the defense as much. Like, it's a lot simpler of a target to throw to.
yeah, I think that will be it'll be nice to see him going, right? With Cole Kmet. And when you talk about Cole Kmet being a good blocker, I actually haven't seen that necessarily on tape as much as we normally have. I think that maybe it's just trying, right? We've talked about the coaching. I think from an offensive perspective, Cole Kmet he's been good, but I don't think he's been absolutely incredible or like this great blocker that he normally typically has been in the past. But the thing that I'm looking at, Khalil Herbert, give him the freaking football. Give Roschon Johnson the football. Just run the football is my whole piece with this. And we've seen it. You have averaged a good amount of yards for the past 2 weeks. And also, too, this is with no passing game. You're able to run the football well when you have no passing game going.
Yeah.
Ball control. You can easily score more than these people. Try and do it. Try and put the ball on the ground. Like, put the ball not on the ground, like as in a fumble, but just run the football and just get the easy yards. And I think that is what the Bears truly need to do. Get back to your roots. Also, where's this outside zone running game that we heard that we were going to be implementing? Every run that we've been doing, too, is right up the middle against our worst blockers that we have, Lucas Patrick to Tyree Carter, and Whitehair still has not looked that good. And God forbid, Larry Borum and Darnell Wright have been your best blockers, are the best blockers on this line right now by a large margin. It's not just the PFF grade says it, but also the tape says it as well. It's not been good. Go to the outside, use your people. So that's just some of my frustrations, but just pound the rock is what I'm really looking for. But PayPal, are there any other storylines you're thinking about with this team?
No, I think you hit that on the nail of the head of like, I think getting that running game started will give that confidence. I think this team in general needs confidence. And I think it starts with this offense getting a touchdown, getting offensive plays. Cause we saw when our team did get a touchdown, our defense started playing with energy. And I think, it goes down to running the ball, going back to the basics, back to what this team is good at.
And hey, right now we're just getting some score updates. 24-3.
I love, man. We should just quit the show right now and start watching.
Yeah, we should just be watching the show. We should just be watching the game right now. And also 2 touchdowns for Monty. It seems like they're pounding the rock and they're doing well. I think that's something that we need to do. So
good point by Bears Bones. Yeah, like keep the defense off the field.
Yeah,
like time management. What happened to time management? No turnovers, like from us, and then creating turnovers. Like let's get back to that mindset. Like there must be some simple disconnect.
Stuff. Exactly, just simple stuff. Play action, and also, one other key piece: run some freaking motion. Like run motion.
Yeah.
It helps your quarterback out tremendously. Now, the big question is how much can your quarterback process and how much can he take into his head? But when you run motion, it helps you. It's something that any joker that plays Madden understands. If you move someone in motion and if they follow them, chances are it's man-to-man. If they don't, chances are it's zone. It's something that really, and also it hurts the defense. It's hard because think about it in real life. If you've ever played defense in a football game, and if somebody moves, you have to understand who's on it. This isn't Madden, where it shows you who exactly you're covering. You have to mentally do that. The best offenses run motions and have some just pre-snap motion just to kind of see what's out there. It's something that can help your quarterback tremendously identify things, and it's something so basic that we can implement that should make this offense look better. But this is the rebound game. This is the put up or shut up. You got to do something. And I think about Patrick, you mentioned Surtain. Surtain on Moore is going to be something very interesting because Surtain does not play in the slot. I looked it up. He has only, I think it's 2 or 3. It's single digits. It's 3 snaps in the slot. And for DJ Moore this season, only 27 snaps in the slot. So, do you put your playmaker in the slot and have him go off? Or is Darnell Mooney going to step up? I know he's been nursing some injuries throughout this year, but you need some players to step up. But let's flip over to the X factors for this offense. The X factor that will kind of take this offense to the next level. Hey, pal, we've been kind of going chalk a little bit. We've had Justin Fields as a big time X factor and a couple other like Luke Getsy. Who is your X factor on this offense for this week?
Yeah, I gotta honestly kind of go with what you were saying of I think Khalil Herbert is kind of the X factor of he's got to get this team. He's got to show, why he's the number one running back and really just get back to 20 carries a game, and maybe we can diversify that with Roshan. Maybe I can include him in that X factor, but just run the darn ball with a
Yeah.
guy that's doing really, really well. Once again, he's having great numbers at a surprisingly pace where we're running it up the middle. Yeah, against our bad offensive line. So just feed him the ball. He's
Yeah.
doing great.
I like that. For mine, I really wanted to say Luke Getsy. I really wanted to say Justin Fields because those are both really good answers. Because when you look at this offense, it really does boil down to them. But I'm going to go a little bit. I think I used them last week. I'm going to go DJ Moore. And the reason why I'm going DJ Moore is if you are going against Surtain, you got to do your best work. But also, DJ Moore, he can take it the distance. He can break tackles and get the touchdown for you. That's something that the Bears really need. This is at home in Chicago. Bears fans are pissed. But I guarantee you, if I'm at that game, if anyone else is at that game, no matter how much hatred you have for the Bears at this current moment, if they throw a slant pass that goes to DJ Moore, he breaks 2 tackles and takes it to the house, we will all be bearing down. We're all going to get excited. Yep. The entire vibe, the Bears are back, is going to be the feeling with everybody at Soldier Field. Yep. DJ Moore is that electric that he can do that. He can instill everybody to get super excited, super pumped up. That's why he's my X factor, because it could be a small thing. I still think they need to establish. I still think running the football is going to be the best strategy for them. But DJ Moore is someone that can just turn the tide. Khalil Mack would always make a big play when he was on the field when the team needed it most. We need that out of DJ Moore because he is a star receiver. He is a very good receiver that is just not touching the ball. He needs to come up big and give us what we need. But PayPal, let's flip over to the Bears defense. Like we said, Bears defense has not been too good. But when you look at the offense for the Denver Broncos offense is not great. It's not bad. It's right in the middle. And this is a team that, and they're ranked the 15th best offense from a stats perspective. But I think when you look at this offense, there's a lot of playmakers, to be honest with you, with this offense for the Denver Broncos. They have Cortland Sutton, their outside wide receiver. They have Jerry Jeudy, who's usually injured. They have the rookie Marvin Mims on the outside that has had a pretty good year so far. And Russell Wilson's always the big question mark. Troutman is their new tight end from the New Orleans Saints, who's been he's always been just like an okay type of a tight end. But you look at the line, you have Garrett Bowles, you have Ben Powers, who was someone that a lot of Bears fans wanted. Lloyd Cushenberry is still their center and still not very good. And then they have Quinn Meinertz, the right guard, who went to the best college of all time in Whitewater, but is still a very good guard, and McGlinchey. So this is a lot of people that some Bears fans really wanted, but McGlinchey has been struggling this year with a 93.4 pass blocking efficiency percentage. So that means 6.6% of the time letting up any sort of pressure, which is not that good for a tackle. But PayPal, what say you? Is the defense? It seems like the defense has been trying to click. It's been clicking a little bit more under Flus, but it's still one of the worst in the league. Do you think that this is going to be a game where, hey, they're not going against the Chiefs, so they're going to be looking a little bit better?
Yeah, I want to see the matchup between Andrew Billings and was his name? Lord Cushenberry? Is that actually
Lloyd? No, Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd. I thought it was Lord Cushenberry.
Lord Cushenberry the third.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like,
Oh
that
man.
guy. Wait, we gotta talk about him for a second. Why didn't we
Talk
draft
about Lord
him? Why didn't?
Cushenberry.
Yeah, but okay, Lloyd. I'm gonna call him Lord
Yeah,
Cushenberry.
Lord
That's my guy to
Cushenberry.
watch
Yeah.
this week is Cushenberry, the center. But yeah, in all honesty, like this offense, like I don't think it's not a joke. I think people, they've been hammering Russell
Yeah.
Wilson, but ever since Sean Payton, I know Broski Bear kind of talked about, mentioned this a bit of like Sean Payton's the offensive guy. He kind of had the Saints. That's why the offense was good. Like that, he is an offensive guy. So he kind of brought this offense, Nathaniel Hackett's offense, even though he was an offensive guy, it was terrible, but he kind of revitalized this offense. It doesn't look like sloppy like last year where they could not score above 20 points. It was just not possible for them. But this year, they've been able to consistently do that, get above that 20-point mark. Even, they were able to, get a lot of points against Washington. So this defense with the injuries, thankfully it's just in the secondary. I'd be a little more concerned at that front seven, but can we get some pressures against a guy like Mike McGlinchey? Can we get that pressure that we really want? Because we know Russell Wilson, he only likes to throw it on the outside there. Can we get some pressure on him? Can we force those interceptions that we really want, those turnovers? But hey, we'll see. We'll see.
I think that the big thing I'm looking at, though, you talked about the receivers to the outside, because I do agree with you. This offense is a lot better than what I think a lot of people are giving it credit for. Because I think a lot of people go, well, Russell Wilson sucks now. He's bad. This is still a decent offense. It's not Kansas City, but like I said, it's a solid offense.
He's not cooking, he's not
Yeah.
cooking, but he's doing all right.
Yeah, and Javonte Williams at running back, he's also he's no joke. He is coming off an injury, but it's still like I think that the passing game is definitely something that we have to look at. And I'm looking at the corners because it looks like Greg Stroman Jr. is going to be our starting slot corner again. And I'm nervous about Jalen Johnson. So does this mean we're going to have two rookie corners out there? Keep in mind, too, Stevenson looked like he had a concussion. And when I see him out with an illness, or he's on the injury report with an illness, but he's a full participant and a full participant. And it looked like he got a concussion last game. And the Bears medical staff always seems to put people back in after they have concussions, a la Justin Fields. I am curious about, I'm really curious to see, are we going to see Terrell Smith? Is this going to be rookie corners on the outside? I'm fine with that because I want to see what we have with them. And I know a lot of people, myself included, have said if Terrell Smith is good, he can be a Jalen Johnson replacement. But so far, Terrell Smith has snuck in a handful of reps. He's been okay, but he hasn't been great. He's been very average, I'd say, at best. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking out for, is just the overall coverage. And I like it because, like you said, if Russell Wilson likes to attack the outsides, the inside of our defense has been where everybody's been just picking apart. So to me, I do think that we can stand a chance because I feel like it should be a good matchup overall.
Yeah, it really should be. And it always, I think it's kind of positive. I remember last year when we were kind of losing games, we just wanted to see like the young guys that we were going to keep, and right now it's like, all right, get these young guys and they can prove stuff. Like Jalen Johnson, has not signed a contract yet. So he's looking really good this year, but it's because no one's throwing his way. And he's even doing great in the run coverage, I think. And it's like, Eddie Jackson, another guy that might not be with the team eventually. He's just kind of a veteran. We get to see these young guys. And honestly, with some of the young guys, like, well, I kind of want to see more Noah Sewell. I think he played pretty good when he was put in the game against the Chiefs. Like, he was out there making tackles. Like, is he one of those guys that will just give this team energy? We've seen how the rookies give this team energy. Like Roshan's been doing it.
Yeah.
It seems like I've been blanking on the wide receiver's name.
Tyler
Tyler
Scott.
Scott, when he was
Yeah.
out there, he was running with energy when DJ Moore, Claypool, Mooney weren't running with energy at all. It's like these rookies are the guys that bring us energy. So like, can we see all these defensive rookies play a little bit more? I'm talking about the D tackles as well.
Because they have to, because they don't know any better, right? I
Yeah.
think about it all the time as when you hire someone straight out of college, you could have the crappiest of chemistry, like workplace environment. They're just the golden retriever coming in going, what's going on, guys? I need to do as best as I can because housing prices are in the crapper. And I need to do everything that I can to try and just keep a job. So they want to do as much as they can because they have to prove themselves. They have to get going. Even if it's a crappy workplace environment, they're still going to be going. That's how they are right now, is they're like, guys, I want this job. I just got this paycheck, and this paycheck is amazing. I want this. I want to keep this. So, and I think the sad part about that, too, is we paid all the money at the linebacker position, and I'm looking right now at Noah Sewell's 90.8 PFF grade. Very small sample size. Very small sample size, just 13 reps. But still, and like you said, he looked good out there, and Sanborn still played well. What's the difference between those two and the guys that you paid all the money to? That's why everyone in the offseason would say, don't pay a lot of money for linebackers. I still like the TJ Edwards signing and what they got him for. But yeah, Tremaine, you got to step up your game, man. No more passes right over the top of you. But I want to talk about the offensive line because I think Garrett Bowles gets a lot of crap because he's always Garrett Holds. I think every Bears fan remembers him because they kept throwing flags on him. This guy is a penalty machine. So hopefully Yannick Ngakoue can do something so that he can get held a little bit. But overall, though, Bowles is actually a fairly decent offensive lineman. I like to think of him. He's like the Charles Leno. Charles Leno, you could get better than him, but he's just like an okay offensive lineman, but he gets a lot of penalties. So you're like, you're just solid. You get a bunch of penalties. What the heck? Yeah. So I think overall, though, you got to see, I think this offensive line versus defensive line is just the same story. Somebody's got to step up. No one's going to step up except for Andrew Billings. So prove me wrong. Change the narrative. Show that you can actually do something because they have been getting more pressure with Matt Eberflus. Let's see if that continues with probably one of the worst offensive lines that they have seen this season.
Yeah, I think that's a great point with the pressures and stuff. And two, with this Eberflus defense, him running it, like I think everyone saw it of just how soft our defense played last game, and we've been playing this entire year. But I specifically noticed it during the Chiefs of like, we're playing so soft, not aggressive at all. Let's see some aggressiveness. Let's see like hard hits. Let's see just like not this soft coverage anymore. Like, just play aggressive. I wouldn't mind if honestly, this might bite me in the butt, but I wouldn't mind if they had like a deep ball, but and got a touchdown from it. If that means that we're playing aggressive, we're stopping them, most downs, getting hard hits, like creating this physical energy, like I would make that trade-off anytime because it's just the way the Chiefs were playing with us. They were toying with us, like they could have scored 100 points if they kept their starters in. So let's play aggressive. Let's just play aggressive. Put these young guys in.
It is really hard, though, I will say, to watch the Bears tape because no one wins on the front of the line. Everybody just sits back. But here's the thing. They still get beat deep. So, yeah, like, why not? Yeah. This is supposed to be a press coverage scenario. Stevenson excelled in press man. And also, we talked about Terrell Smith, where he's perfect for a press man situation with his long, lengthy arms. Why not? What's the worst that can happen, right? It's already going to take people. They're already going to have all day in the pocket. So, I mean, might as well do something different. So we'll see out there. But also, Ron, our boy, saying, where's Don Burr? He is probably excited because his Lions are whooping up on the Packers. I'm excited for him, I gotta say. So he's probably smiling ear to ear. Good old Lions fan just excited
Good for
about this.
him.
Yeah, good for him. I also like Broski Bear's idea. This is actually
Hey,
kind of what I was thinking
yeah, I
too.
like that too.
Yeah, with the preview show might turn into top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 wide receivers, and we just kind of report on that. That's a good idea. So if the Bears lose, we're going to be on it. We're going to be draft season. We are going we're
We're gonna be
going
in
all out.
college. We're gonna be in college.
We're going to be college
Scouting
scouting.
show.
We'll still do a preview. We'll still always do a preview to give everyone what they like. But yeah, we'll definitely throw more college scouting in there because that's definitely seems to be the big vibe right now with being 0-3, right? So let's put a cap on this defense. X factors. Let's talk about who's going to make a difference, who's going to turn the tide for this Bears defense. Mr. PayPal, you start out. Who is your X factor on this defense?
Yeah, honestly, I think I might do this last week, but Tremaine Edmonds, like, he's the leader of the defense. He's the person that's supposed to be creating this energy. So do it. He's supposed to be,
Yeah, leader in
Yeah,
quotes.
leader, exactly. Leader in quotes. Like, he's supposed to be that leader. Like, get this team together. Get them. You're supposed to be the successful Buffalo. You're supposed to teach us all this success on this defensive end, how to create turnovers. Like, take all these young guys around you. Like, it's still such a young team, and lead them. Play with that physicality and teach them how to do that too, not just you. So that's who I'm really leaning on.
Yeah, and we got Bears Bones saying Eberflus, so there is that. But also too, yeah, I pulled up Tremaine Edmonds, and yet again, this is just PFF grade, but I was just talking smack about the one career year. That's exactly what Tremaine Edmonds looks like. It's literally he has one grade above 60, which was last year. Everything else is below 60. So, and this year, below 60, he went back to his mean. So hopefully, show us what you can do. Right? Show us how you can play. The big thing is the defensive line in the front. But let's go over to the. Actually, let me.
What's your X factor, Brad?
Sorry, I'm like.
You trying to skip out?
I am totally trying to skip out on this because I'm like, how the heck? I like Bears Bones saying Eberflus because it totally is a big Eberflus. I'm going. You want?
I mean, Stevenson, he's going to be the only young, he's going to be the best secondary player, basically, besides Jaquan.
I got it. And I want to say my boy, but I'm going to go with your boy, Gervon Dexter. I'm going to go with Gervon Dexter because Gervon Dexter, you got to beat out Justin Jones. And I know that the Bears like doing their hockey lines and stuff like that, but Justin Jones has been bad. He has not looked good. Hey, he looked quick when he wasn't wearing pads and no one was trying to block him. Like, he looked quick he should be doing drills, right? He needs to be doing more drills. He looked good in drills. So with this, though, Justin Jones has not been good. You need Gervon Dexter to take that next step. He has been getting better. We haven't talked much about this, but he has been making better and better plays. This is what we want to see out of this person who could develop into a good defensive tackle like a Jalen Carter. So that is, but all jokes aside, he has been getting better and he has been making stops, and that has been kind of falling at the wayside with all of the negativity around the Bears. So I do think that Gervon Dexter to me is that X factor because you are going against Lord Cushenberry III, where you can beat him in the interior and get a sack and stuff the run. I do think that this is going to be a game for him. I might even predict that he gets a sack. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm feeling that he's going to do something because he has been steadily progressing, as it seems, every single game. While Pickens, we talked about this at the very beginning of the season. I was saying he's going to pop for like a play or two. He is the epitome of kind of like what Armon Watts did last year, where Armon Watts would be good for a play, and then you wouldn't see him for the rest of the play of the game. That's what Zach Pickens has been doing. That's what I think he'll continue to do until next season. So, Gervon Dexter, my X factor. So, PayPal, we have gone through the offense. And we have gone through the defense. That leads us to the best position group that we have on the Chicago Bears, the special teams review. Let's break down the special teams, PayPal. Do you have anything for this special teams review?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Trent Taylor, keep it up, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we should bring Kari Blasingame. I mean, after that Texans return from their fullback,
I saw
maybe
that.
we should start putting Blasingame back there. Just, like he's the best fullback in the league. So let's put him back there. Let's screw, all these guys we signed, Tyler
Yeah.
Scott, Trent Taylor, Bayless Jones.
Game. Yeah.
We got Blasingame. Yeah, that's the new era of football nowadays, is putting your fullback back
Hey,
there.
hey, this is gonna, it's if only this was in Mile High. You have Cushionberry and you have Blazing Game, right? You got the two highest names I think I can think of out there for for players. But no, this will be in Soldier Field. Also, I want to see more Bayless. I really do. I want to see what is he going to do as a returner, because the ball keeps falling short and he just kind of lets it go. What can Bayless do? I want to see him take it out. What's the worst that can happen? He's going to fumble it. But what's the worst that can happen? We need a spark. And I think that's what this team is missing, is that spark. And what I like about a kick return when you're a bad team is, especially with like a Bayless, it can bring it back to the house. So why not at least try something like that? That's what I want to see out of this team overall, is just do something so that we can see them play. So, yeah.
Facts, broski. But yeah, good with the special teams. On to the predictions.
On to the predictions. So, PayPal, let us skedaddle through some of these predictions right here. So to start things off, we got the Broncos run defense versus the Bears running offense. PayPal, what say you for the
Bears? Bears running offense all day, every day.
Easy. And then we go over to the Bears passing offense and Packers. I'm not Packers. I have Packers down here. Then versus the Broncos passing defense. PayPal, I'll let you take this one too.
Hey, Bears passing offense.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, how can you not? I mean, the Broncos haven't proven they have a defense that can do anything. So
yeah, and now I'll make this short because I got both of these for the run defense and the pass defense. I'm giving it to the Broncos because the Bears defense has not done much, but I will say I kind of like the Bears run defense. I think they could stop them, but as I'm saying that, I have nightmares about Tampa Bay being able to run on us. So forget that. The Bears do not have the advantage on defense. So that it's going to be an offensive game. Bad defenses going against each other. We'll see what ends up happening. But
down goes Green Bay, baby. 27-3.
Yeah, 27-3. Let's go. I'm still nervous because I see way too many comebacks, but I feel this is going to be different. I feel the Lions they're not going to let up on the gas, I feel. But let's talk some money, PayPal. The Bears, right now I'm looking at a line plus 3.5 for the Chicago Bears. We normally don't do lines for it.
That's tough.
Are you taking the Bears as a field goal underdog? I'm curious also, people watching, would you take the Bears plus 3.5 at Soldier?
How sad is that?
That is really sad.
The thing that just gets me though is this team has looked god awful. So it's like, it's probably one of those riskier bets out there. It's like you expect that this team's gonna change something, and honestly, Brad, I think home field advantage is actually not really a thing for the Bears right now. Like they want to be away so they don't get booed off the field.
That's very true.
So honestly, I'm not taking the under. I'm not betting that. I'm thinking the Broncos might get more than 3 points. The Broncos still might win.
And I agree with Broski on this too, because he said it's not only being 0-3, it's you can tell the team has already given up. And that's where I agree. I fully agree where that's the difference. When I crunched the numbers on that there's 6 other teams that were this bad that have lost double digits the first 3 weeks, every single one of those teams has been trash. As it's the Jags of the early 2010s. Like that's what it's been. And that's who the Bears have become. Like it sucks saying that, but like when people play in fantasy, they go, who are the Bears playing this week? I got to just start everybody against their defense, start everybody against their offense, start the D, right? Like that's just who the Bears have become. And it sucks. We're the Jags of the early 2010s.
Yeah, the Lions. And
I also did this real quick, and I'll probably post this better out there on Twitter or X. Just follow us at Unbearable Sports. I looked at the decades. This is the worst decade so far. Now we're just very early on to this decade, but still our win percentage for this decade is 32%. The next worst was in the 70s, where it was 42%. So this is the worst decade so far for the Bears starting out. Very small sample size, but still. But I digress. Let's look at some other prop bets. I didn't have time to actually pull these up, but let's see. Justin Fields over 188.5 passing yards. I'm going under actually on this. I think.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What I would do is I would run the freaking football. But what will the Bears do? They'll probably try passing, and
but they still won't get above 180, even if they do try to pass it. So
now we have gotten more than that recently. So, but we'll see. And let's see. I'll do a rushing yards one for you. PayPal. Here we go. Roschon Johnson over under 31.5 rushing yards.
That's honestly, I think last week I would have done that easy money. He is getting a decent amount of rushes. It's just like that seems like he has to get like a breakout run, you know. I gotta do over. I'll do over on that one. It's Roschon Johnson.
Okay, there we go. And last one for me. Let's see. DJ Moore, 45.5 receiving yards. I'm going over. I think that we gotta see it. I think that we gotta play well. And I think that DJ Moore is the crux of that. I am not doing any Bears bets this week. I have been burnt out, destroyed by some. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do the plus the points because, right, you can't lose that bad. No, they keep on proving us wrong. So let's go over to our actual game predictions where the coin still rules. Coin in the simulation has been victorious every week, picking against the Chicago Bears. They are 3-0. I am 1-2. And PayPal, you sit here at 0-3, just like the Chicago Bears. You've stuck with them through thick and thin. And because of this, you are 0-3. PayPal, do you want to start with it, or do you want me to start?
You got to start. You got to start today, Brad.
I will start out, or should we have the reigning champ with the coin flip? So
no, coin flip's got to go last.
Yeah, coin flip does have to go last. It is 3-0 after all. So
it's a cheat code.
See, I think breaking down this Bears team, it's hard because, like what we said, this Bears team, people right now, Sean Payton is saying this Bears team stinks. We are better than this. This is when we rally. The Broncos also were screwed over in their first 2 games by 2 bad calls. They should have won both games. That's what we have not talked about. Denver Broncos are 0-3. They're not as bad as the Bears because I think everyone wants to see last week against the Miami Dolphins. Do we remember what happens in Miami in September when you play at Miami? It's 90-something degrees, hot, humid, and you are baking in the sun. They have the best built-in home field advantage that's out there. They bake you in the sun. That's why they're tired, and they can run all over you. I think that the Denver Broncos will rebound. And the Bears, I have lost a lot of confidence. And also, here's a quote that I forgot to say in the offensive side of the ball. DJ Moore, it's this like super hyped quote, right? Where he's like, I skip past some of this, get the monkey off our back and morale will turn around and then fans will be happy. Y'all will be happy and we can have better conversations up here. Right? Right? That's good. But the way he started it was after getting this first win, right? That's good. Whenever we get it, hopefully this week. Like that's when you're like, that just kind of shows the Bears.
Like, let's maybe get it. Yeah. We could also do it next. We could do it next week if we wanted.
Yeah, if it was just simply after getting this first win, we'll get the monkey off our back, right? That's confidence. That's, hey, but you could tell he's like, if it's this week, we'll see, right? But the Bears, I ultimately think the Bears will not get this win. I kind of like the score 24-17. But here, you know what? I haven't had a blowout for the Bears. We're going to say 10-24. Bears defense at least holds them. We lose by 2 touchdowns. 10-24. Bears lose. And the bowl prediction, Javon Dexter gets a sack. I mean, with the Bears getting blown out, I don't think that there's much to say on the offensive side of the ball. Bears get booed out of the stadium. That's not very bold. But I'll say Javon Dexter gets a sack. Is going to be my bold prediction. It's not that bold, but I don't expect a good game. But how about you,
Brad? I have to do this every week. I just have to be optimistic with these Bears. I gotta say that they just are gonna they're gonna do everything that we're saying. They're gonna get the running game going. Like, they're gonna go back to the roots. They're gonna start running. They're gonna tire out this Broncos defense. We're gonna get like a rushing touchdown, and you know what? It's gonna be a Justin Fields rushing touchdown. That's gonna get him hyped. That's gonna get that confidence, because we were on last week. Justin Fields needs to run to get his passing game going. It's weird. He just has to get that confidence, get that blood flowing, I guess. So I'm thinking we start running the ball. It's a good game and it's tight. Bears pull out the dub. I'm gonna say we're gonna have to score to win. I'm just saying that it's gonna be 27-24. Bears win. They make the money line. I have to do it. This could be kind of like Tampa,
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you're saying it, right?
I have to be the optimistic of the show.
You do. You are. Yeah.
And it's not just because I want to get hopefully on the same level as you, Brad, maybe get back on the same line.
This is true.
But the Bears can do it. The Bears can do it with these younger guys coming in at the secondary. Hopefully they can bring that energy on this defense, because the veterans aren't.
Let's check that out. Also, Nano's big bold prediction. Number 23, Roschon Johnson rushing for 100 yards, but Bears still losing 17-24. I like it, Nano. Honestly, if that happens, we'll be celebrating. We'll be like, heck yeah, we got the running back. We got the Row show going. So I love that, Nano. Also, Frank's out there too. What's up, Bear Down? But let's go over to the moment that everybody has been waiting for, the coin flip app. Let's see, not a sponsor. Let's flip this bad boy. So heads will mean the Bears win, and tails means the Bears lose. I'm starting to think
it's rigged. It only does tails.
Tails.
It only
Bears
does tails.
lose.
It only does tails.
That is crazy. I was thinking about that. I'm like, technically, it's just done tails 4 times in a row. So coin flip chose.
It's done tails like 17 times, 13 times in a row. It's gotten our whole losing streak predicted.
It's got the whole losing streak predicted. It's going to predict tails. It's predicting the Bears lose. Also, Don Burr, good job whooping up on the Packers. Just come.
Let's go, Don. I'm actually proud. I'm proud of you.
I'm actually very proud. Like, it is nice to see that as long as the Packers lose, I'm happy, right? No. Like I don't have any hate towards the Lions. I really don't. Like, just beat up on the Packers. I can't wait to get that game on. So we'll wrap things up. and we can get things going. I can hear my dog barking. He's in the kennel right now howling. He just learned how to howl, I guess, during this show. But PayPal, let's see what ends up happening. And if the Bears lose, make sure to stay tuned because we'll be putting on some draft coverage because that is our promise to you, the people. So maybe you might be rooting for a loss now. And yes, let's go full on draft mode. But we'll have you covered. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe out there on YouTube as we reach our quest for 2,000 subscribers and or 4,000 and 2,000 as that major milestone. Also, we give away a Darnell Wright jersey. Don Burr, you can also enter in even though you're a Lions fan. Just rate the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and you will be in the running. With that, I'm Brad. He's Johnny PayPal. Unbearable Sports Podcast. We are out.